You begin the clock watch stage, entering the silent lab system to monitor the clock and handle initial form checks under growing pressure. The door seals behind you, and you immediately check the synchronized wall clock, noting the exact start time in your pressure form log. Each second is meticulously tracked in the clock synchronization log, essential for maintaining the lab's precise and pressured schedule. You open the first pressure form, scanning the detailed fields that must be completed before the tight deadline approaches in 30 minutes. The pressure mounts as you cross-reference data entries on the form, aware that submission is due soon, with time ticking away. On the monitor, data streams continuously, part of the silent logging process that defines the pressured routine of the night shift. In the silent room, you take a brief pause, observing the collective focus of your team on their pressured tasks without a word exchanged. With only 10 minutes remaining, you start another form, the clock's ticking, amplifying the pressure of the impending deadline. Each completed form represents a task done, but the growing stack indicates the ongoing pressure of the shift's relentless pace. You submit the pressure form, marking the first milestone in the clock watch stage, yet more work looms under the silent pressure. In the logbook, you meticulously enter the time and form ID, following the facility's strict documentation process under pressure. From above, the silent lab system operates smoothly, with every movement monitored and recorded for audit. Under mounting pressure, the supervisor delivers additional tasks, pointing to the panel that requires immediate attention before the next pressured phase begins. You calibrate the panel according to the checklist, ensuring all readings stay within specified parameters under time pressure. The panel display provides real-time feedback, crucial for maintaining operational integrity as pressure builds in the silent facility. With 5 minutes left, you log the panel updates. Feeling the deadline pressure intensify in the silent room, you perform a final review, ensuring all documents are in order as the shift transition approaches under heightened pressure. The clock strikes the deadline moment, a critical point in the clock watch stage that triggers the next pressured procedure silently. You securely store the documents, marking the end of initial form checks and preparing for the night shift under continued pressure. As the clock watch stage concludes, you await further directives, the pressure now shifting to the upcoming night shift in the silent lab system. The night shift commences, bringing increased pressure as you focus on silent data logging and device checks in the dim facility. The monitor displays 15 urgent tasks for the night shift, each requiring precise execution under the mounting pressure of time. Each highlighted task on the screen represents a critical device check that must be completed before the next audit in the silent lab. You begin the first device check, moving silently to the panel as the night shift routine intensifies the pressure in the facility. You calibrate 3 dials on the panel, recording each value accurately to maintain system integrity under the silent night pressure. The completed checklist items indicate progress, but 5 more devices await inspection. As the night shift pressure builds steadily, you log 12 data points from the device check into the system, ensuring all entries are synchronized with the facility's clock log. From above, the silent lab operates in a coordinated routine, with every movement monitored under the increased pressure of the night shift. You complete the pressure form submission for the first phase, marking another milestone in the night shift's relentless procedural routine. You skip the break, focusing on the next set of logs as the pressure to meet deadlines mounts in the silent facility. The clock indicates the deep night hour, a reminder of the ongoing pressure and the many hours left in the shift routine. You cross-check 20 panel readings against historical data, ensuring consistency under the pressure of the night shift audit requirements. You document the anomaly swiftly, following procedure to report it through the proper channels without disrupting the silent lab routine. The screen displays the critical anomaly, highlighting the need for immediate attention in the pressured night shift environment. You complete the incident report in 10 minutes, adhering to strict documentation rules under the mounting pressure of the silent facility. You securely submit the report, ensuring it is logged for morning audit as part of the night shift's pressured routine. The Dropbox symbolizes the facility's secure procedures, crucial for maintaining integrity under the pressure of the night shift. Despite the tiredness, you prepare for 8 more tasks, driven by the relentless pressure of the night shift in the silent lab. The supervisor's silent approval confirms your work is on track, but the pressure to maintain pace continues unabated in the facility. With 3 hours left in the shift, you begin the next phase of device checks, the pressure persisting in the silent night routine. You transition into the night shift, where intense data logging and panel updates occur under heightened pressure with minimal light. You initiate the night shift device check, systematically verifying 10 devices while the pressure to maintain accuracy mounts in the silent facility. You record the initial device data, ensuring each entry is precise, under the watchful eyes of the facility's surveillance cameras. The screen displays the ongoing device check, a critical task that must be completed flawlessly under the night shift's pressure. You cross-reference 15 data points with historical logs, identifying any inconsistencies as part of the pressured audit routine. You document a minor anomaly in the device check, following procedure to report it without delaying the night shift's schedule. The notepad holds the recorded anomaly, a small but significant detail in the Silent Lab's pressured documentation process. You complete the incident report in 5 minutes, adhering to strict guidelines under the mounting pressure of the night shift. You submit the report for review, ensuring it is logged in the system as part of the night shift's pressured workflow. The tray symbolizes the queue of reports awaiting audit, a constant reminder of the pressure to keep up in the silent facility. Despite the tiredness, you press on with 8 more device checks, driven by the relentless pressure of the night shift routine. The supervisor's silent approval acknowledges your efficiency, but the pressure to maintain pace persists in the dark lab environment. With 2 hours remaining in the shift, you update the clock synchronization log, keeping track under the pressure of deadlines. The clock marks the passage of time, a visual cue of the ongoing pressure in the silent night shift of the facility. You perform a hands-on device check, verifying 10 readings manually to ensure accuracy under the pressured audit conditions. You enter the manual data into the logs, completing this phase of the device check under the silent pressure of the night. You finalize the night shift device check, reviewing 20 items to confirm compliance with the facility's pressured protocols. The Silent Lab hums with activity, each technician absorbed in their tasks under the collective pressure of the night shift. You create a summary report for the device checks, a necessary step under the pressure of the upcoming morning review. With the device checks complete, you ready yourself for the final hours of the night shift. The pressure is still palpable in the air. You begin logging additional data points, waiting for the clock to signal the end of the night shift under mounting pressure. The blinking cursor represents the slow passage of time, a visual reminder of the waiting involved in the Silent Lab routine. At 5 a.m., you update the clock synchronization log, marking another hour of waiting in the pressured night shift. A colleague delivers a report for cross-verification, adding to your tasks as you wait for the morning audit to begin. The report sits ready for review, symbolizing the accumulated work that awaits during this period of waiting. You spend 15 minutes verifying the report data, a tedious task that fills the time while waiting for shift ends. You take a brief break, waiting by the door, observing the silent hallway as the night persists in the facility. The empty hallway stretches into darkness, a visual metaphor for the long wait remaining in the night shift. With 30 minutes left, you organize the morning report materials, waiting for the shift change with growing anticipation. The supervisor instructs you to ready for the 6 a.m. audit, heightening the pressure as you wait for the final moments. The desk, cluttered with work, reflects the buildup of tasks completed during the wait for the night shift to end. You complete final data entry, submitting it for review as you wait for the morning shift to take over. You tidy up the workspace, a routine activity that fills the time while waiting for the 6 a.m. deadline. The organized tools symbolize the order maintained even during the long wait, a key part of the facility's routine. At 6 a.m., the doors unlock, marking the end of the night shift and the beginning of the wait for relief. The morning shift arrives, and you're ready to transfer your logs and reports, ending the long wait of the night. The lab transitions from night to day, with new personnel taking over, concluding the period of waiting under pressure. You pass the reports to the morning team, completing your duty after hours of waiting and data management. You sign off from the system, leaving the facility as the morning audit begins, ending your wait-filled night shift. The door closes behind you, symbolizing the end of the night shift and the constant wait that defines the Silent Lab. Carrying the completed reports, you move towards the submission area, feeling the weight of the night's work. At the submission desk, you prepare to hand over the logs, aware the morning audit will begin soon. The clock advances, marking time as you wait for the audit process to start. Under increasing pressure, you submit the night shift reports, watching as the supervisor starts the initial review without a word. Waiting for feedback, you notice the room filling with colleagues, all preparing for the morning report. The morning report phase begins, where all logs from the night shift are audited under strict procedures. You access the digital logs on the monitor, ready to cross-check them with the physical reports submitted. Identifying errors in the data, you make corrections on the form, ensuring accuracy for the audit records. The corrected report symbolizes the meticulous work required to maintain data integrity in the facility. Collaborating with a colleague, you resolve a discrepancy in the logs, a common task during the morning audit. You enter the corrected information into the system, finalizing the updates before the audit concludes. The room is alive with activity as everyone works through the morning report, a scene of organized pressure. Your report is approved and stamped, marking the completion of your part in the morning audit process. You archive the approved report in the cabinet. Following the facility's protocol for document storage, the organized filing system represents the routine and order that underpins the lab's daily operations. Preparing for the upcoming shift, you verify the inventory list. A task done under tired conditions. You sign off from the system, ending your involvement in the morning report and readying for a break. The clock shows 7 a.m. as you finish, indicating the end of the audit and start of a new phase. Tidying up the workspace, you perform final routine tasks before taking a much-needed rest. Leaving the room, you head for a break, carrying the fatigue from the night shift and morning audit. Returning after your break, you note the time on the wall clock is 7:30 a.m., a reminder of the ongoing morning report duties. The room is active with colleagues finalizing reports, a scene you observe carefully as you prepare to submit your own documents. You submit the report, watching the supervisor stamp it with approval, a key step in the morning audit process. The pile of reports symbolizes the accumulated work from the night shift, each one observed for accuracy before filing. You check the logs against the printed list, observing 3 discrepancies that need correction before the audit concludes. Collaborating with a colleague, you resolve the data issues by observing each other's screens and agreeing on corrections. The clock indicates 8 a.m., a moment you observe as the deadline for report submission approaches rapidly. You observe the supervisor checking your updated logs, routine part of the morning audit under tired conditions. You enter the corrections and save them, observing the confirmation on screen that the audit data is now accurate. The saved log on the monitor represents the completed observation phase, ready for final review and archiving. You complete the submission process, observing the printed receipt as proof that your report is officially logged. You archive the documents in the cabinet, observing the neat order that ensures easy retrieval for future audits. You observe the fatigue in the room, a common sight during the morning report as everyone pushes through the pressure. You verify the inventory list, observing all 15 tools are accounted for, a task done under tired morning conditions. You sign off from the system, observing the logout process and noting the time is now 8:30 a.m. You observe the increasing morning light, a visual cue that the report phase is concluding and a new routine begins. Tidying up, you observe the desk becoming organized again, a final step before the shift change. Under pressure, you receive and complete the feedback form, observing the supervisor's instructions to document observations for improvement. You observe the door closing, symbolizing the completion of the morning report and the transition to the next routine. Leaving the report area, you observe the familiar corridor, a reminder that the pressure will continue in the next shift. You begin the tired repeat phase, where the routine tasks are performed again under the same pressure, observing the familiar setting. You observe the workspace in disarray, a reminder that cleanup and preparation must start immediately under tired conditions. You observe the cleanup tools, symbolic of the repetitive tasks that define this tired routine in the silent facility. You sort and organize 20 papers and 5 tools, observing the desk transform from chaos to neatness under pressure. You verify the inventory list, observing that all items are present, a routine check done with tired precision. You observe the clock, marking the time and emphasizing the pressure to complete preparations before the next shift starts. You document the cleanup process on the form, observing 15 entries made under the weight of repetitive routine. You watch the other workers, observing their repetitive actions, a common sight that reinforces the monotony of the tired repeat. You observe the play of light and shadow, a visual cue of the passing time and the ongoing routine in the facility. You access the system, observing the login process that initiates the preparation for the upcoming shift under pressure. You scan the logs, observing 30 entries to ensure accuracy before the new shift begins. A routine audit task. You observe the door and sign, symbolizing the transition and the restricted nature of the routine in this silent lab. You observe the monitor screen, showing all systems operational, a routine confirmation in the tired repeat phase. You submit the form, observing the official stamp that validates the preparation tasks under mounting pressure. You check the clock, observing the time and the increasing activity, a reminder of the deadline in this tired routine. You observe the fatigue evident in the room, a common aspect of the tired repeat that everyone endures together. You complete the final tasks, observing the desk set for the new shift, a routine endpoint in the tired repeat. You wait at the desk, observing the imminent shift change, a moment of pause in the repetitive routine under silent pressure. You observe the shift change, watching as the new team arrives and the routine handover begins under silent pressure, marking the start of the tired repeat. You observe the clock, noting the time as the shift change completes, a routine marker in the tired repeat that signals ongoing pressure. You transfer the checklist, observing 15 items verified and approved during the shift change, ensuring continuity under tired conditions. You start the desk cleanup, organizing 20 items into boxes as part of the preparation routine for the next shift under pressure. You observe the fatigue shared by all, a visible reminder of the tired repeat that permeates the facility's daily routine. You prepare 12 tools for the next shift, observing condition and arrangement to maintain the routine under mounting pressure. You submit the report, observing the confirmation light that validates the data logging, a routine task in the tired repeat phase. You observe the monitor screen showing operational status, a routine confirmation that the systems are ready for the next shift. You complete the pressure form, observing 10 fields filled to prepare for the upcoming tasks under the same silent pressure. You adjust the room lights, observing the bright set to optimal levels for the next shift. A routine maintenance task. You observe the door closed and locked, symbolizing the secured routine and the controlled environment of the silent lab system. You conduct a patrol, observing the room and equipment to confirm readiness, a standard procedure in the tired repeat routine. You create a task list with 8 items, observing the preparation for the next shift to ensure smooth operation under pressure. You observe the room setup, with empty chairs and tidy desks, a visual representation of the routine waiting to be repeated. You check the clock, observing the time and the impending deadline, a constant reminder in the tired repeat of the facility. You perform form checks again, observing the same procedures repeated, highlighting the routine that defines the tired repeat under pressure. You observe the stack of forms, each representing a completed task, a tangible record of the routine in the silent lab. You prepare to leave, observing the room set for the next shift, a moment of transition in the tired repeat routine. You leave the room, observing the ongoing activity in the facility, a sign that the routine repeats endlessly under pressure. You observe the clock, now showing the same time as the beginning, a clear indication that the tired repeat will continue without end.